Hey, and welcome to another episode of Riffin with Griffin. I want to thank everybody that listens, and you send your comments, you send your theme songs, you send all your love, and I really appreciate it. And once again, I have another special episode. I say this every time that it's a special episode, but this one truly is a special episode. So before I go into this week's theme song, let me introduce to the program the very funny and talented Mr. Tony Rock.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I know you don't listen to my
Why
podcast.
is this one a bit more? You made it sound like this was more special. Why is this more special? Because nobody has black people on their podcast.
Can I just give you some love?
Okay, all right, no, I'm just like, I appreciate it.
Maybe it's not special
Maybe
at
this
all.
is more special. This is more special. Like, why is it more special?
My fellow Clipper fan too. We go to the games.
No, listen, I just have Clipper tickets because they were cheaper than Laker tickets. And I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, but since I'm spending more time in LA, I had to see basketball.
You ain't shit.
So I'm not a Clipper. Like, you love the Clippers. I watch you when they hit a basket. I stand up like, "What's Eric doing?" And you like, "Yeah, motherfucker." I'm like,
I love the other day when they was playing Brooklyn, and Brooklyn was up 20. And you were like, "Brooklyn," and then y'all lost. I was texting, "Where Brooklyn at?"
I'm walking out. Everybody in my section is like, "What's up now?" And I'm like, "I just want to go home. Can I leave, please?"
Are you really a Brooklyn Nets fan?
Yes, man.
Oh wow. Okay, so you must have loved those years they went to the championship.
Two
No, years in a row.
The where the Barclays Center sits,
right,
used to be the hub for the New York Daily News.
Oh,
and my father worked for the New York Daily News my entire childhood.
We're gonna get into this.
So that building has transitioned as Brooklyn has went through its renaissance and gentrification. It's went from a hub of Daily News to basketball in Brooklyn. So they both, I have a tie to
I want to hear all about your life story. We're going to get into the genesis of who Tony Rock is. But first, this is this week's theme song. See, people send me.
This is a Brian Hanna original.
Oh, Brian Hanna, this is you, brother.
It's not bad. There's only one rule in my bedroom. Only one fuck all rules.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin. This is a good one.
Shout out Brian Hanna.
All right.
Nice.
Short but sweet on that one right there. Okay, so here we are. You know, I've known you for many years.
Long time, yes.
You know, but it's
been
like
a fan of your work for some time. Every birthday show I do, I try to get you on my birthday show. Every year I do my birthday show, and you killed 1 year harder than any other year.
Yeah, that first
and everybody
time.
still says, "Hey, you got that guy? The guy that was on that time? Is he going to be on it?"
I was especially on fire that night, just only because it was just so knowing you that, you know.
And everybody knew it was like he didn't write that. That was in the room. That's what stand-up comedy is, like to be that funny on the spot.
Because you ladies man, you know you.
I have some female friends.
Yeah, you. Oh,
Riffin with Griffin.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Just so you know, every time you hear that, it's gonna be something he don't want to answer. So you got a whole phone? Riffin with Griffin.
Nah, but that was a great night. You killed it. You killed it.
Well, it was
brought attention to the obvious in the room, and then it was very.
I remember the line. I said, a lot of ladies here tonight think they with Tony tonight.
Let me tell y'all, you ain't with Tony. You sitting with Tony. You ain't with Tony. Let me tell you something. Even if you came with Tony, you ain't with Tony. Now y'all all sitting there like, well, I thought I was with Tony.
that was like,
murder.
I'm sure I got you in trouble that night.
Murder, man. You killed.
You know what I remember about that birthday night? Who booked that? Pookie.
Yeah.
Remember he had the not the ventriloquist, but the hypnotist.
Oh yeah.
You don't have a hypnotist on a black show.
Yeah. It was like some guy, he wanted to do a favor, but he wanted to do a favor on my birthday show.
On your birthday show.
That's not.
And he's doing hypnosis in the
All
middle.
the black people were just like, it ain't working, bro.
And then the fake people he had come up. These dudes, they felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Weird night, but memorable.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you for having me on. I'm a fan of your work too.
Appreciate you, man.
Like I've known you. So you're obviously. Let's just get the elephant out of the room right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tony Rock, brother of Chris Rock,
Right. Little brother of Chris, big brother of Jordan.
Big brother of Jordan. So it's like I'm wondering if y'all gonna have like a basketball game versus the weigh-ins.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Who would?
That'd be great. We snapping the whole time.
Yeah,
going down the
yeah,
joint
yeah.
and snapping. Oh, that'd be great, man.
Wins, rocks.
Riffin with Griffin. This is a Brian Hanna original.
I'll be the moderator.
That'd be cool.
But when you so you guys, your family's from New York, obviously.
Born and raised in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. My parents are from South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But we were born and raised. We city kids. Like I tell people all the time, I'm a city boy with country morals and values because my mother would send us to South Carolina every summer to stay with my grandparents.
Oh, wow.
So I'm still yes ma'am, no ma'am, hold the door, treat women a certain way, you know. But I'm still city boy, so I know when somebody's going to get robbed, and I can see I see when it's going down before other people do.
Like you walk the side chick out the room. You gonna walk her. You don't just let her out.
I call her a lift.
And open the door.
She don't get an Uber. She get a lift.
Ain't gonna be no Uber pool. That's funny. It'd be good if they had a side chick Uber pool that all the dudes used.
You pull up. Oh, you leaving Tony's house? Huh?
Who was you just with? But anyway, so you all right? So you had a big family.
I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters.
Wow.
Charles, Chris, Andre, Tony, Derek, Brian, Kenny, Quan, Andy, Jordan.
And who's the oldest?
Charles. He passed away.
Sorry, R.I.P.
Yes.
But how much older were your brothers?
Charles was 18 and in prison when I was born.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, he was a wild guy. He was very street. He was a street celeb. He was a hood celeb. And in our neighborhood, we were famous for being his little brothers.
Oh, wow.
So we go in the barbershop. It's like, hey, don't mess with the rocks. That's Charles' little brother. You know what I'm saying? We go to the park to play ball. Yeah, that's Charles' little brother. Like,
Wow. And so, but that's like 18 years makes it where, well, obviously also going to prison, but it makes it where you can't really be close. You're not.
No,
really,
we were very.
Was the family close?
It's like I had 2 dads growing up. I had the young, cool dad that was like, this is how you dress, this is how you talk to girls, taught me how to box, play basketball. And then I had my dad who was homework, clean your room, brush your teeth, get the groceries out the car. Like he was stern and didn't play. Wow. And then my oldest brother was like, a little more lenient. Like, come on, man. Like, just come on, sneak out the house with me. Let's go to the store. Let's go get some pizza. You don't want to eat what's for dinner? Let's go sneak around the corner.
He show you how to rob somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you're going to rob somebody, that's the one right there.
He was a super cool dude.
That's cool.
It's super funny. And
was everybody funny?
Everybody's funny, yeah. It's a weird thing. It's like I didn't know. With that many siblings, I didn't know that people had siblings that weren't funny.
Right.
So when my other friends would come over and they would just be so blown away with my family and how we all played around with each other and we were so close and we would pick on each other, but still it was all loving.
Right.
And, little fist fighting here, but it was all loving. My friends would like be blown away. Like, this is not how my family's not like this. So all my friends, and then another thing, growing up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, the street I grew up on, sad to say, my father was maybe one of 5 fathers on the whole block.
Oh, wow. So he was a father not to just your family. He was probably a father to like some of your friends and people around the block. Wow.
Bed-Stuy, brownstone houses. And
real close.
So I'm talking about 25 houses on each side, maybe?
Yeah, I got family from Staten Island.
50
Same kind
houses,
of thing.
5 fathers.
Oh, God.
So my dad was my boy's father, my friend's father, my homegirl on the cross street. He was everybody's father.
Oh, not surprised that the family's so successful then.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Dad was he taught us a lot.
How much older is Chris than you?
8 years.
Oh, so were you guys like? Did you find yourself being close?
You know what's weird about our relationship? When you little brother, you want to follow big brother everywhere. But big brother's always like, "Come on, man, get out of here!" Like you cramping my style. Like, "Come on, can I go?" No, I'm going with my friends. We're older.
By the way, you are 1,000 times cooler than Chris. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, he's not a cool dude. You know what I mean? You're like, I bet you going like, Chris,
like, you know what's weird?
Stop cramping my style.
I'm at the store, like I'll be at the store, the factory or something. And somebody's like, "Can I get a picture with your brother?" And I'm like, "Hey, yo, man, come take a picture." Like she want to take a picture. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And like he would have never did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think it's all because we treat him like we call him Chrissy. He's Chrissy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like he's just Chrissy to us. So
that's cool,
We've always treated him the same way.
So I mean, it's like, man, it must be something because your brother's such a giant in comedy now.
Yeah.
He's established himself as like literally one of the greats, especially of our era. To me, still one of the best specials in the last 30 years. Still, just because of even the impact of it and like seeing somebody do that. So then what made you go, "Oh, I want to do that too"?
Well, no, I wanted to be a comic from school bus. Like, I would listen to Richard Pryor albums at home. I would listen to George Carlin. My father had Flip Wilson. My father had Red Fox. My father had Mom's Maybe. So on a Saturday...
Influence on all of you
Now,
guys.
keep in mind, my father... Backstory, some more backstory. My father's the oldest of 15.
Oh, my God. Your
my
family stay fucking.
My father's big bro to 9 uncles
Jesus,
and 5
and
aunts.
the neighborhood.
And the neighborhood. So on a Saturday, in the summertime, we have a cookout in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And my pops will throw a record on. And all my uncles are there dying laughing at Richard Pryor. And Flip Wilson throws that on. And I'm just like, the feeling that I see in this room, I want to be a part of this.
Word.
I want to be a part of everybody laughing and having a great time.
Even apart from your brother decided to do the same thing. This is your own
5, 6 years old.
Right.
So now I'm in school the next day telling Richard Pryor jokes and trying to quote what Red Fox said, and I'm cursing, of course.
Yeah.
And my teacher's like, "What are you saying?" And I'm like, "I just heard this stuff," and all my friends are just dying laughing on a school bus.
Right.
And my mother's like, "You can't say that in school. This is an album. This is what he does. He does this for a job. He does movies." Then I see Rich Pryor on TV.
Right.
That's the guy from the record. Yeah, he does records. He does TV.
All right.
He does movies. And I'm like, well, okay, I have to be this guy.
Now, was your mom at that time and dad, let's say, encouraging you to go into a different career?
No, of course. My mother was a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
My mother was a
she
school
wanted
teacher.
you to get your degree,
She wanted
get your education.
She went to degree, college, marry a college sweetheart. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a blue-collar truck driver, hardworking, my father worked 2 full-time jobs.
Oh,
my father worked 80 hours a week. So his thing was work. Nobody's giving you nothing. You're responsible for your own life. Nobody's coming to save you. So that work ethic was instilled in us. Mom wanted the traditional route. But then, the bug came, the comedy bug, and it was just like, okay, if I can apply that work ethic
right, to comedy,
to this thing, then
yeah.
I could still be successful, right?
Right.
So now for myself, that was it. It was like I was telling jokes and stuff in school, and then Eddie Murphy hit, and Eddie Murphy was a young black guy,
right,
a cool black guy. I wanted to be. I was a young black guy. I wanted to be cool. He was the epitome of stand-up at the time.
Now Saturday Night Live around that time, is that like
this is
for
Eddie.
me, that's what it was for me.
This is the height of Eddie, with Eddie's rock star status.
After Delirious? Or
no, this is around the same time.
Right,
when Eddie just comes
I get you.
everybody's stratosphere. And we're around the TV every Saturday night, and the whole family's like, this guy's the biggest. And I'm like, okay, this is that feeling again.
Yeah.
We're all around the TV because of this guy. And my family's laughing, and my brothers and my boys that live down the street that don't have TVs in the house. And it's like, I have to be a part of this feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know Eddie. I didn't know Richard Pryor. I didn't know George Carlin. It was like, I love him, but I don't know him. Then the guy in the next room is doing stand-up.
Right.
And then it turns into, oh, shit, this could be real.
Oh,
I could really be this guy.
You already felt like you could do it.
Yeah.
But
I was entertaining with my friends. My friends thought I was the funniest guy in the world.
Right.
I would sit on the stoop on a Saturday afternoon. We had to do our chores first. My mother would put a list of chores on the refrigerator. By like 10 in the morning, she would tape chores for everybody.
Jesus Christ, I'm an only child.
Yeah, so it was like I had to do...
Y'all had a list.
I had to sweep the front yard, pick up the leaves. I had to wash dishes, clean the bathroom downstairs, take the laundry out the dryer, wash machine, put it in the dryer. My brother Brian had to, vacuum everybody's room, make the beds.
Damn.
Everybody had a list of stuff to do. And then when it was done, I would go outside and sit on the stoop with my boys. And the routine we had every Saturday was I would sit on the stoop, and everybody that walked past, I had to roast them. Everybody. So if you're just walking down the street, I'm like, you big looking like, your hat look like a damn potato sack looking. And in the hood, it's a million characters.
Yeah.
It's a crackhead walking past. It's a white mailman. It's the fat girl with the too short dress that's like doing, there's so much stuff to get, material.
Right.
So I'm just... And my boys are just dying laughing. And
Any fights happen? Did anybody go like,
of course,
somebody turn around like, what's
somebody
your problem?
Chase us, people chase us. Like, what'd you say? Like,
how old were you at this time?
This is 10, 12.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like, that's our Saturday. Then, so my brother starts doing stand-up. My brother's standing online for tickets to see Eddie Murphy at Madison Square Garden. He's at Radio City or Madison Square Garden. I'm not sure.
For Delirious?
He's standing on the
was-
Lord Have Murphy tour.
All right. And that was like, he was touring for that.
Yeah. So my brother's online to get tickets. And the line's like insanely around the building 2 times. And he gets his tickets and then he walks to the comic strip and signs up for open mic. So now he goes and does the open mic. He doesn't tell my mother because my mother, he's in community college at the time. Does the open mic. They pass him. He's a regular at the comic strip.
Wow.
He's sneaking, going to community college during the day, going to work at Red Lobster on Queens Boulevard, leaving, driving to the city to do spots, sleeping in his car, coming home, get a little bit of rest, get up in the morning, go back to school to work to the strip. So my brother Andre finds out about it. And Andre starts going around with him. Like, I'll meet you at the comic strip. Andre had a motorcycle at the time. I'll meet you in the city.
Wow. And then your parents don't know yet.
No, Andre knows. So I'm still like,
you're in the dark.
Hey, can I go? No, get out of here, man. Can I come? No, get out of here. All right. Then Andre's like, yo, like, we saw Chrissy on stage last night. It was so funny. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to see this. So now he's taking me to the strip. I'm 14.
Yeah, you got to sneak in the back.
I'm sneaking.
Yeah.
You know the back part of the strip where they close the wall up?
Yeah.
I'm back there sitting in the darkness. And it's like, you don't touch anything, just watch the show. I see Eddie Murphy at his height. I see Jerry Seinfeld. I see Paul Reiser. I see Adam Sandler. I see my brother, Dennis Wolfberg, Mark Schiff. I see Joe Bolster. All these blowing my mind every night.
Oh, so you were going regularly? Yeah,
like if I could, hey, can I come? Like, yeah, sure, come on. Saturday night, nothing. I don't have to be in school. Come on. This is like the most incredible thing I'm witnessing in my life. I'm watching these guys. I don't know how they're coming up with the material. I don't know the process.
Yeah, right.
I just know every guy's coming on after the next guy, and he's funnier than the last guy.
That's the era where it felt like magic,
It's always felt like magic to me.
Yeah.
It's always felt. And I'm just watching these guys like, how do I do this? Like, what, And
at that time, too, you're also watching your brother.
Watching my brother.
What'd you think of your brother the first time you saw him?
I've always, he's my brother. So I'm like, just to see him up there is like cool as a kid. To see your brother doing anything is like, oh, snap. You see your brother playing basketball, even if he sucks. It's like, oh, he's out there. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Supportive.
So, and he's like hit or miss some nights.
Right. He's not still like that.
Nowhere near the guy that people see. Yeah. It's like some nights we in the car and he's like, damn, just like that didn't work,
Yeah.
And he's just, but the work ethic is still
that. I was just about to say, one thing. A side note is one thing. I now because I'm hearing your origin story,
right.
And I realize that's part of his origin story.
Right.
And one thing I always appreciate about him is he'll come to the store and be like, "Hey, lower your expectations,"
right?
Because he's working on something.
Yeah.
But then I see it 3 weeks later, and it's like, so that's part of this family, the rock work ethic,
right? And he told me, I'll fast forward and then I'll come back. Right?
So
Well, now I'm doing stand up. I'm in for like maybe a couple years, and he calls me one day. He's like, "Yeah, you had a set last night," and I was at the strip. Like, "Yeah, I killed. I did 7 minutes. Murder, killed him 7 minutes." When's your next spot? Tomorrow. He calls me the next night. How was your set? I killed again. 2 nights later, what'd you do? I killed, man. I'm telling you. Let me ask you a question. Did you do the same set all 3 times? Yeah. Okay. Well, then call me when you bomb. And I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Because you're not taking chances until you're bombing." So you can do the same 7-minute set forever, and you know what the results are going to be. But when you take a chance and start trying the material and it doesn't go your way, that's when you learn how to do it. So that's when it was like, okay, now I got to go up sometimes and not be so consumed with what the audience thinks. It's like, I'm working this out for later on. You guys just have to sit through maybe a hit, maybe I'll find a nugget, maybe it's nothing. But you're going to have to sit through it, Now, I think a lot of comics get consumed with making that particular audience laugh, that they don't take the chance to go, let me try this new bit, because the people are staring right at them and they don't want to step outside of that and really try to be, you gotta risk bombing to be great.
Yeah, for sure.
So most guys will just be like, I'll just be good in the room. I'll just be good right here. Then to take a chance.
I always feel like
the
moment you really feel like I think you finally feel growth as a stand-up when you actually don't give a fuck about the crowd.
Right.
Like you literally just like, I'm working on this and I feel this way.
You know what? That's life.
Yeah.
When you don't give a fuck about what people say about you, you are free.
Yeah.
When you don't give a fuck about what people think about what you're wearing or how you look and stuff, that's the greatest freedom you can have. And when you're on stage and you don't care, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it like this. I'm not saying this for you guys. The biggest misconception is that people think that comics are on stage saying things that we think that they think is funny.
Right. Well,
No, we're saying shit we think is funny.
By the way, that's the problem that a lot of young comics have.
We saying what we think is funny. If you laugh, then you agree.
Right.
But I'm saying shit I think is funny.
Sometimes you can laugh. You laugh even when you disagree.
Right.
You know, you're laughing like, "Ah, you stupid."
Right, right.
And that's fine.
But at least respect the creativity of what I took the time to write. You know what I mean?
Now, one thing I'm realizing right now from talking to you is that you wanted to do your own thing. You had your own path.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder why.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Wayans, you know, they're always around each other.
Right.
You know, it's like they're always like, you know, it's like Sean was on In Living Color.
Right.
He started doing comedy that way. Marlon did his thing. They always had this like a certain communal feeling.
I think it feels to me with them like that's what the blueprint was. Like
Yes.
we're gonna
pull each all.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
gonna pull each other up.
Right.
But I'm hearing from you now. It's like because I always be like, how come Chris ain't never bring Tony? And I realize now that that's actually your choice.
Yeah. Well, so now let's go back now.
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
So when my mother found out that my brother was doing stand-up, she was upset.
Obviously,
She was upset.
my mom was upset too. When
And then he said he was going to leave school. She was more upset. And then he's at the strip one night, hanging out, hoping somebody's late so he can get a spot. You know the routine. Hoping that somebody runs late, you get 10 minutes. Eddie Murphy walks in, full Eddie Murphy now. This is
I know.
This is leather glove with the rings over at the glove, with the 10 chicks and the limo, and comes in. My brother's just a nobody at the time. He begs Lucian Hole, the manager, to introduce him to Eddie. Lucian introduces him. Eddie's so fucking cool, so big. Nobody's a threat to him. He goes, "Hey, is the kid going up?" And Lucian's like, "He's not on the list tonight, but if you would like to see him, I'll put him up." And Eddie's like, "Yeah, put him up." And they all go. Imagine how intimidating. They all turn around and go back in the room. To watch his set. And he will tell you this to this day. If you have him on here one day, he will tell you to this day, that's the best set he ever had in his life. To this day, bring the pain, big ass jokes, all that. The best set ever. The night Eddie Murphy turned around and came back in the club. And that night he came home, woke us all up. "Hey, I met Eddie Murphy tonight. He said he's gonna put me in a movie."
Oh wow! Hey, be careful with this because boom,
it
makes a noise.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, 2. Yeah.
And then we're thinking, we in the hood, we thinking he's famous, he's rich,
right.
he's on.
He taking us all to Hollywood.
Right. We're like, yo,
that motherfucker made scale. He made $300 that day.
Yes.
And brought home some craft
services.
He didn't make no money.
Right. So we're just like, oh my God,
he was hood rich.
Eddie
for sure.
Eddie just took him and discovered him. And then the gift and the curse of that was that everywhere he went was Eddie Murphy discovered him. Eddie Murphy put him on. Eddie Murphy. And then after that, Eddie really didn't do much. He signed with William Morris because Eddie Murphy was with William Morris. Eddie didn't put him in Harlem Nights, which came after that. Eddie didn't put him in.
Well, he didn't miss out on that.
Yeah, it's like a couple movies that came afterwards that he thought, like, I'm with Eddie now. I'm down with the team. Nothing.
But then short at
SNL.
Yeah.
SNL. And we thought that was amazing. It was incredible. And then
he was the black dude on SNL. That was like a credit.
Now around the same time, my father passes away. So the family's just shell shocked. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know. I'm in a funk. I'm functioning, but I'm not functioning.
By the way, what are you doing during this time? So like when he this thing happened with Eddie Murphy, I'm sure that inspired you.
Cop 2, I was in high school.
Okay, right. So you trying to get out of high school because you chomping at the bit.
Like I'm like all the girls in my freshman class are like, "Was that really? I heard that was your brother." Because some of my boys went to the same high school.
Right.
So they're like, "Yo, that's his brother."
Yeah.
And all the chicks, we heard that's your brother in the movie. Yeah, it's my brother.
Now, is that the moment that you started to take advantage of that?
Nah, not really.
Riffin with Griffin. Hey, because you got to look like I don't want Sheila from '89
at this moment
to think she wasn't special.
At this moment, it's like, yo, how can I get out of here to do that?
Yeah, I feel you.
I gotta get out. My mother's not gonna let me circumnavigate this high school thing.
Your mom was on you at that point.
Yeah, so I gotta.
You ain't leaving school.
I gotta get out of here. Like this shit is. I'm in school. I'm in high school, and I'm writing little things. I think it's funny. I'm like out the window every day. Like, man, I just want to get out of here and just be a star. And man, I want to.
Your teacher's all Mr. Rock.
Yeah.
Would you pay attention?
And then they were filming. Coming to America. At the McDonald's on Queens Boulevard.
Oh, the McDowells.
Near my high school.
Oh, man.
So everybody's like, hey, man, can we go meet Eddie Murphy? You just go with your brother. Can we go?
Yeah.
Why we can't go meet him? He put your brother on, right? And I'm like,
it works like
that.
that.
You don't know me. I can't just walk on the set like that. So I'm in school, maybe 2 train stops away from where they're filming Coming to America. And everybody's, we leaving school. We going to see Eddie Murphy. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, man. He don't know me like that. I'm like, I'm playing myself. So I'm like, I got to get out of school.
Right.
And I graduate now.
And you've always been like this, by the way. I'm seeing this about you. You are this motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
You're very much not like, we're going to have to get to that. You got to tell me the Jay-Z story. You have to talk about that because that's you. You're not the kind of dude that gets starstruck.
Yeah.
It's a humility.
I always thought it was a Brooklyn thing. I always thought it was a Brooklyn thing that we just like, yo, okay, he's hot, but I'm hot too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dope too. Like, you know what I mean? I just.
But even in high school, you were just like, yo, guys, calm down.
Yeah, I was like,
we're not going to McDonald's.
I look like I'm standing outside like a dummy. Nah, that's not. I was like, I thought I was too cool for that.
So you get out of school.
So I get out of high school, and my father passes away when I'm senior.
Got you.
And I had to go to summer school that year, too. This was the craziest shit. I had to go to summer school that year, so I didn't get my diploma until the first day of school the following year. I had to go to summer school all summer. And my father was already, like, kind of sick. And I came home, and my mother's on the couch sitting with my dad, and she's, like, just holding him, you know. And I'm like, Ma, I got to show you something. And I had a manila envelope. And she's like, oh, God, please, I'm not. Like, she's just like, it's
did
court
you get
papers and stuff.
suspended? Yeah.
She's just like,
this is a pregnancy test.
And I pull my diploma out, and she fucking flies off the couch like, oh, my God. Like, I didn't think your ass was going to get out of high school.
Oh, that's great.
And my dad is kind of
she
sick.
threw him on.
So he just reaches up and shakes my hand. He's like, his stomach is hurting him. And he's like, he just reaches up like and shakes my hand like, good job. And I just remember that, like, I never got, like, a big hug from my dad for graduating high school. It was just, like, a handshake. You know, it's all he could muster. And my mother was just through the roof. And then now, of course, it's like, okay, so now let's see about college.
Yeah,
like,
you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a doctor.
I just barely got out of high school. Did summer school.
Can I live, woman?
So she's like, it was September, so I couldn't register for school that year. So it was like, what are you going to do? You're going to register in January, I think it was? Or you're going to work for a year? I'm like, yeah, I'll work for a year. I'll work for a year.
As a comic. Yeah, she didn't know that.
I'll work for a year, then I'll go to college. And she's like, okay, well, so that's the plan.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm out, and I'm like, I got to get on stage.
Yeah.
And my cousin Sherrod Small works in New York, works at Cellar all the time. He's working in New York. We would like throw back ideas back and forth, and I'm like, we're gonna get on stage, man. And I get on stage. I think it was New York Comedy Club, and I bombed my ass off. And they booed me, and I'm like,
they booed you?
Yeah, it was boo. It was a boo beyond the boo. You know what I mean? Question,
because this is important for this right here. Now, at this particular time, were you in the black club lane? Like, did you want to do black audiences? Did you want to? Like, where were you at this time?
When I used to sit in the strip and watch all the comics, they were mostly white guys.
Right.
And they were incredibly funny to me. So I never even looked at like a black lane. I never looked at it
like it was urban. You didn't. You didn't thought of yourself that way.
I was always taught, and I thank the comedy gods for teaching me this. That funny is funny.
Funny is funny. Right.
I learned that day one. Like just. Like, I never looked at it like, oh, black comics go here.
Right.
And white I was like, this Joe Bolser is the whitest looking motherfucker in the world. And I'm crying listening to this. Dennis Wolfberg is the weirdest looking white guy. Man, he rest in peace. At the time, curly hair, the skinny eyes, and would do Dennis Wolfberg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this dude is, oh my God, like, how is he this funny? So I never thought, black over here, white over here. I never thought that.
You just got a natural swag about you.
Yeah, I just thought. Yeah, I thought you're black. If you're black, you're black. It's You're going to talk a little different because of the way, but you can still be in
wherever. Yeah. Because that's what your brother was doing too.
I would see my brother go on, Adam Sandler go on, Asian guy, white guy, woman. So it was like, okay, as long as you're funny, that's all that matters. And that's what I always subscribe to. Like, just be funny.
So you bombing in New York.
So I'm bombing. So I bomb a couple times, and I'm like, all right, fuck this, man. Like, I gotta figure this shit out. And I just stopped going on stage. And people are like, my boys are like, when you going back up? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck. I gotta figure this shit out. I don't know. And I didn't go on stage for maybe months, like 4 or 5. I'm working at the time, so I'm going to work, and I'm like, my boy's like, you doing something this weekend? I'm like, nah, I gotta work, man.
This is funny. The same thing happened to me, man. I know exactly what you're talking. I know the exact feeling.
And my boys are so excited about it that they're just, come on, man, like when you going back? And for months, I'm like, nah, I'm not.
Because that rejection of the crowd, because you go up with this idea
when you had so much excitement about it, thinking it's going to turn out a certain way, and it humbles you.
Oh God, it's humbling.
You're like, damn, I was so excited about this thing, and it turned out so.
It's actually work.
Yeah. So one of my best friends to this day, Carlos, grew up on the block with me. My mother used to babysit him and his brother Keith. So we grew up as if we were brothers because they spent the night at my house every night. Down there, ate dinner at my house. My pops was their pops. And Carlos would always, yo, man, when you go, I'm telling you, bro, you got to get back on stage. And I don't know why, to this day, I'm telling you, bro, I seen it already. I seen it. You're going to be fine. Trust me. Months later, 3 months later, I'm telling you. Trust me, man. If you never trust me before, I'm telling you, that night you got booed, I saw it, bro. I saw it, and I'm like, the fuck out of here. What'd you see, man?
What'd you see?
Dude, I was in the room. I saw I saw a different you that night. And months and months, and I go, all right, I got to get back on stage. And now I'm like, I'm going to write a monster set. I'm going to be creative, and I'm going to tell a story, and I'm going to be me, and I'm going to, and I go to the Strip and I sign up for that lotto, the lottery. They pick 5 comics, they go on that night, the next 5, next Monday after that. And I get like the 3rd Monday, and I tell Carlos, like, yo, I got a spot, man. And then they call my house to confirm my spot. And my mother answers the phone.
Of course your mother answered. This is the scene in a sitcom. Hello?
And my mother answered the phone, and I come in the house, and she's like, why, the comic strip called you? What's that about?
That's the moment she was like, another one.
Yeah, what's that about? And I'm like, I don't, I'm just so dumb. Like, isn't it funny how you think you could get over on your parents? And then you realize, like, that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe they wanted to call and ask about somebody. I don't know. It's like, you don't know why they called me. Really? I don't know why they. So I go on, and Lucian watches me, and he says, he was impressed with my writing, and he's like, come back in 2 weeks and audition again. Like, it's not a pass, but it's not a not
pass.
It's
a pre-pass.
It's a come back. It's come back and do it again. So I come back 2 weeks later. Lucian's there. There's a couple other people there. They watch me, and I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get over the stage fright now. I used to hold the mic. I used to hold the mic in my hand, hold the mic stand, and look down like this.
Really?
And Lucian's like, well, that's not going to work. If you have to.
I can't even imagine.
You have to connect with the people. So, so now I let the mic stand go. So I walk in, lift my head up. So, okay, my boys are like, yo, just talk to them like you talk to us. And to this day, I tell young comics, any advice? Yo, talk to your people in the audience like you talking to your boys. Mm-hmm. Tell the jokes like you know they work. You did it before. You told these jokes before, right? Well, tell them like you know they work.
Yeah.
And then the comp.
Tell them like they work.
I'm not. Yeah, right. I would say I calmed down, and it started, and I got in the Strip, and then it was like, all right, let's try the next club, and I got in New York Comedy Club, and then I got in Stand Up New York, and then I got in Gotham.
Now you're off on your own,
and I'm working, and then my brother's doing his thing, and people are like, yo, this is Chris's brother, and people are like, whoa, he's pretty good, So I never thought to be like, hey, let's do it together, and
right?
Let's be because he was already on his way. And I was like, well,
I always thought it'd be like, it's like, because you see it, because I'm saying the Wayans brothers doing that all the time. It's like, they going on tour together.
Right.
It's like, you got Damon.
Don't get me wrong. I would love to be like, let's do 5 cities together.
Yeah, the Rocks.
Let's do
with
it.
your brother, too, the other brother. Jordan.
I would love
Jordan,
Yeah, but I just.
But this is the first time, by the way, I've seen your brother, Chris, actually start, like, talking about you guys. He talks about you guys all the time.
Right.
And I was like, where the fuck has this been? You know?
I kid you not. Sometimes I felt like early on, I felt like he would rather I wasn't in the business. I felt like that for some time. Because now I go even further back. This is before comedy. Growing up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I used to follow my brother Charles around all the time, right? So I was like, yo, that's little Charles. I was little Charles. Nobody fucked with me in the neighborhood. My brother was kind of picked on and bullied. And he was big bro. And he was big bro.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
So
You're
look,
always a bit cooler.
He would get his bike stolen.
Right.
And I would get it back.
Man.
People would try to jump him, and I would come riding my bike down the street like, yo, ain't nobody touching my brother, man.
Right.
And they, oh, shit, Tone, we good. No, Tone, I don't got no problem with you, Tone. I don't got no, well, you can't have a problem with him and not a problem. And it was a weird.
It's a weird dynamic. Yeah.
So now he does this thing that's like, okay, I got this thing that I do that's I'm really good at. And here comes Tone walking in the party like, hey, I do this too.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man, can I have
my own thing?
Right. So I felt like he kind of didn't want me in the business.
Yeah, I get it.
So for that reason,
like I say, you got a natural
for that reason, I said, you know what? I'm not going to bother him. I'm going to put all my work in. So I'll validate my spot.
Right.
So nobody will say, oh, his brother, he coattail, nepotism. I will validate all my successes.
Yeah, because there for sure was no nepotism.
Right. Yeah, there was not one phone call made. No, trust me.
This motherfucker directed movies don't put you in it.
Listen, there was nothing.
You know,
I'm at the gate with everybody else.
Yeah,
like
you trying to get in the party like Rock, Tony. He's like, who?
Yeah, man, listen, there was no.
Yeah. But I think that's like, again, it's a testament to your parents. It really is. Like that's him doing the same thing you doing. I'm doing this on my own. This is my thing. No one's doing this for me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then you're doing the same thing.
I remember one time, like, this is our childhood. I'm like, summer school, and my mother's like, school's out for the summer, and my dad's like, we all have to have jobs for the summer, and my brother gets a job, and everybody's working, and I'm looking for a job, and one of my friends worked at a sneaker store, and I'm like, yo, man, are they hiring? And he's like, I'll talk to the manager. I'll see if I can get you in. And my dad's like, did you look for a job today? And I'm like, no, my man Boo said he gonna hook me up at the sneaker store. And my father's like, no, you don't do hookups. You don't do this guy gets you a job. You get you a job. You don't wait for the worker to get you to you go get the job. You know what I mean? Like, we don't do hookups. We don't do that. So I've always been like, I'm gonna get my own. We were taught to get our own.
Yeah, it's funny that you have like a very like it's a humility about you about this kind of thing, and I think that's great. I realize where it's coming from.
I tell people all the time, my mother was a school teacher, my father was a truck driver. I treat people like my mother's a school teacher and my father's a truck driver.
And yes, you do. Like I said, I was telling you that, like, you would tell me one time y'all saw Jay-Z with your brother, and your brother was like, "Let's go," and you knew it was going to be a situation.
It was my little brother, though.
Yeah,
so it's like I'll do anything for my younger.
Right.
And he's like, "Can we please take a picture of him?" I'm like, "Listen, man." There's people all around him.
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly.
And he's
how you
like,
feel.
"Please, Tone, please." And I'm like, "Oh man, come on, man." Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, man, come a little bit." And he goes, "Man, take the picture, man." And
I know, it's that moment.
I was like, "Oh man, this dude, like, you ruining the whole image I had of you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, but I did it for my little brother. It was for him. He thought I was cool to walk up to Jay-Z. So,
do you think that now that, like, you're older now, Chris is older, you guys have gone through the fire of the certain parts of the business, and like I say, I really like I was on his Instagram the other day, and he was like doing like a question and answer with his fans, and they said he was like, my brothers are funnier than me, Tony's funnier than me, Jordan's funnier than me. This is what he's saying on this thing. So he's out there talking about you. I mean, I feel like are we moving towards where you guys can finally be like, you want to help each other out, man?
Hey, man, I'm ready.
I got a broker to deal.
I think the comedy fan base, the comedy, the comedy, solar system, would love to see that. I would be like, yo, that's some dope shit right now.
I think I've told you this, but like, one really great moment for me, I've had two of them now that involve your brother. Because one day I was at the Comedy Store, and I'm just doing a regular set.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they told me, they always let you know Chris Rock might be coming on.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so I thought I was bringing him up, and it didn't work because I think he was waiting for somebody. But anyway, I'm standing outside talking with a couple comics. Your brother comes out the OR. He sees me. He beelines over to me. Now, he's a weird motherfucker. Okay? He is not
Socially awkward.
Socially awkward. That's what I'm saying. He's so socially awkward. Like, he will walk right by you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like he's not a dick. He just, all right, he beelines to me, and he's like, yo, you were funny, and like doing the fingers and everything. You know what I mean? You was really funny. You know what I mean? Who are you? What's your? We have, and then these two comics are standing. He don't even. They don't even exist. And I'm like, I'm having this conversation with him. And he's like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Walks away, and then the two guys look at me and they're like, what the fuck? And I was like, God damn, I can't believe that shit just happened. You know what I mean? It was like, it's weird, but to me, I just felt so validated. Everything I do, I was like, yeah, motherfucker. It didn't lead to no work.
You was on the other side of the gate with me,
I'm like, what's up? Yeah, you know what I mean? Is that a Chris movie I can't get into? But so I was like, it really was like, but it's funny. 15 minutes later, I saw him in a parking lot. The motherfucker didn't even know me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm back to, I'm back, But like, and then the other thing that he just had his birthday, right?
Yes.
So I go on Instagram because I just think, let me just shot in the dark, send him a DM, happy birthday. He's already following me. And I wasn't following him.
Wow.
So I was like, hell yeah, son. Who following me? So I slid into the DMs. And I said, happy birthday. And he wrote me back, thanks, man. And I was like, damn, well, you got millions of followers. And you still. Man. So I was like, I think he's really coming down to earth. What?
The kids are older now.
Yeah.
The divorce is done. He's back out in the stand-up world. It's like, you know what? Life ain't that serious now.
Yeah. So that's why I feel
let's have a little fun.
I feel like something's because have you done shows? You've done shows with your other brother, right? Have you and Jordan?
Oh no, Jordan's my man, 100 grand. Jordan's my guy. Like that's Jordan's my.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I didn't. Yeah. Because like, I love him too. He's like he's the man.
Man.
Yeah. He's so funny. It's funny how y'all are so different too.
Yeah.
Y'all are so different.
And Jordan grew up a little different. Jordan, after my father passed, my mother moved back to South Carolina, where she was from.
Oh.
Jordan was a baby. And
he missed everything. He missed like the poorness.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, Jordan.
He privileged.
We tell Jordan how poor we used to be, and he's like, really? He moved to South Carolina, big ass house, big ass backyard, basketball court, pool, bikes in the front yard. I'm like, kid, we didn't grow up like this.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And he lived at home with my mom. My baby sister had just left for college, maybe a few years later. So he was in the house with my mom, just them two. So I'm like, you don't even have the same mother I have, bro. Like, you got a different mother.
So let me ask you about this now. So you're out here in the comedy world right now. So I mean, what do you think about like what's happened socially? How it's affected comedy? How's it affected your comedy? The Me Too movement, being in the Trump era, everything that's happening right now. Has it affected your comedy, and in what way?
More material. Everything that goes on in the world is material for me, as far as I'm concerned. You got to find that line in it that you can address, and that stance you take, and be able to articulate it with some humor. Me Too movement it was big, so as a comic you have to address it, of course. The Me Too movement is it's weird. Like I don't want to do bits, but it was like it's guys that were weird to begin with that got in positions of power, but they still were weird. It's like I seen a meme one time. It's like it said, you can have money and still be corny.
Yeah,
you do. It said you do realize you can have money and still be corny.
That's why there's websites.
So it's like you don't get
Millionaire Matchmaker.
You don't get uncorny. You don't get unweird. You don't get whatever because you in a position.
But did you find it where it was like let's say pre Me Too movement, you might have had like say a chauvinistic type joke,
right?
Did it affect how you did comedy?
No. I still do stand up. I still write the same way. But now this is the thing: when you write, I think most comics do this now. You write the joke, and then you have to really.
You're more thoughtful.
Could this be misconstrued as saying this? Could this be? Could they take this away from this? Because then I have to change it. So you kind of go over it more finely, everything you're saying now.
Well, I think that the social media and even TV, even when stand-up started to go on TV more, remember back in the day it was like Evening at the Improv and that A-list and that stuff?
Yeah.
I personally feel like that was the worst thing to ever happen to comedy.
What, oversaturation? Or?
The oversaturation of it. And now cut to you have Netflix. You want to talk about oversaturating comedy.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the next thing is gonna be like a 2-minute show. You know what I mean? Like
didn't they do like a show with like 5 minutes?
Like, here's 85 comics doing 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be like, what are we doing right now? It's like, so I feel like the live experience
will always be the best.
It will always be the best.
Always be the best.
But the live experience is being taken away because people want to tape it, and people want to this happened at the club and not now. It's we gonna put it out here. I'm not a fan of Louis, but I didn't think that was fair for them to like tape him as he's working out some whatever it is, inappropriate or not. Bits.
It's like you said you saw my brother when he's working out stuff, and then 3 weeks later it's monster.
Yeah,
you tape it when it's nothing and put it up. Now people are like, hey, not funny.
Yeah, or he might have said something that
we don't have the luxury now because social media. We don't have the luxury of the workout.
Yeah, man.
The workout is public now.
Yeah, and that sucks.
But you got to let us work out. It's part of it's a necessity of the job. We have to work out. Now you tape it. I was in Sacramento this past weekend. I come out on stage. 2 minutes in, hey, what's up, Sacktown? Girls like this with the phone, following me. So I'm like, sweetheart, are you taping the show? What are you doing? And she goes, no, I'll tape half. And so I stop. I said, I'll just stop until you put the phone away. And I just sit there. And the whole room's like, come on, you put the phone away. What's wrong with you? And I'm just standing there.
And then I'm sure her ego was like, nobody gonna tell.
Right.
Me.
She's acting up. And then some guy in the back's like, man, you ain't that famous. Do your damn job.
Oh.
And so now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go the other way. I was going to curse him out. No, I'll go the other way. I go, bruh, you're not understanding what's going on here. She's taping my show. I didn't say anything disrespectful to her. I didn't call her a bitch. I didn't say, ho, put the phone away.
Yeah.
I'm going to tape half your show. Why do you think that's cool, bruh, for her to do that? To tape the show. The people that paid money to sit here, these are the guys I'm doing the show for. Not for the people she's going to send the show to later on. Maybe I'm working on jokes. Maybe I'm going to try something new tonight.
Yeah.
Why does she get to send it up? Oh, all right, man. Well, then she should put the phone away. I'm like, that's what I was saying, bro. And the security is like, you want to out? I'm like, no, I don't want to out.
No, they should have. Security should have went over and been like, can you stop taping?
I saw Dave Chappelle one night at the factory. He said, people started pulling phones out, and he goes, hey, how about we do this? How about we put our phones away and let's have a human experience?
Dude,
You'll leave here tonight and you'll tell your friends, I saw Dave Chappelle last night. And if they say, oh, shit, then you get to say, you missed it.
Man, I was at the
it?
Atlanta Punchline, and there was a drunk couple, and I'm starting to handle them. Dude pulls out his phone. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He was like, well, you're doing so good right now. I said, hey, why don't we just enjoy this moment? Let's just
have a human experience.
Let's just enjoy this moment.
Whatever happened to you missed it. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Or you had to be there.
Yeah. Yo, you should have been there. Those are the best stories when you're like, man, you should have seen.
Now people are like, I know, I saw it on your YouTube.
Look, you heard what happened? Look. And it's a piece of it, so you don't even get the whole story. It's like,
but you know what this is doing? It's weeding out the weak comics.
Right.
It's weeding them out. It's weeding out the ones that they don't have the stomach for this. They don't have the work ethic for it.
Yeah.
They don't have the ability or skill to do it because it's just getting rid of them. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
But then you know what they do? They're the guys that are in your comments like, you suck, you ain't shit, fuck you, you ain't funny, motherfuckers. Like, dude, come on.
Do you read comments?
Sometimes.
Honestly,
sometimes,
you can't help it.
Sometimes I'll post something and I think it's funny and I'm like, all right, that was kind of good. Oh, you suck.
The worst is when you go through like 6 really good comments and you're like this.
That's seven with a baseball bat. Like, yeah,
your mama should have never had you. Damn, man. I was doing so good. You know? And that's the one you want to respond to. The
comments is this. This is what it is. Especially with the negativity. And I don't want to get too. I don't want to sound like. Whatever they say, it's a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
Possibly.
So when it's like in my comments, it kind of feels that way. It's you ain't shit, bro. You just Chris Rock, brother.
Yeah.
This guy feels intimidated by, like, he must be the guy in his group that's not doing what he wants to do in his life. So.
But you probably let that go a long time ago.
Oh no,
right?
Come on, man.
You let that go a long time ago.
The guy that's like, you like, I take a picture with a chick, out for the night with baby girl. You ain't got no chicks, man. I was like, that guy doesn't have any chicks.
What do you think? This an actress?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this an extra motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, Tony got chicks. Riffin with Griffin. That's funny. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. These
It's just like they see the void in their lives and they be like, I just want to put it on somebody else.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like I can't stand it, but
Yeah.
it's like
It's a necessary evil.
But
man.
it's weird. Like the comments, you know what the original comments for us are we're at a show, we're doing a show, and you look out and 150 people are laughing, but there's that one person that's going like this.
Yeah.
That's the one that's the one I find myself focusing on.
Yes,
I'm like, what's your fucking problem?
Yes.
I'm killing right now. I don't like this. Whatever it is. And then it's like we forego, we forget all y'all. Forget all
psyche.
Yeah.
People you guys don't even understand the psyche of the comic. 150 people in the room, 149 like dying. The one guy, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Just take that.
Yeah, I want all 149 to leave.
Just take
You sit down.
Yeah.
You are gonna laugh.
Muhammad Ali said, if 500,000 people come to see me fight, 250,000 came to see me lose.
Yeah, true enough.
So it's gonna be that in the room. But as a comic, you're like, no, that's the guy I want.
Well, what's funny is like at a comedy club, the people that laugh outweigh the people that don't. And we don't hear that.
Right.
So let's say it's like 300 people at the Laugh Factory, it's like there's going to be 25 that might be like, I don't really like this dude, but I don't even hear it,
Right.
But what happens on a mass scale when you do a special or you do then you're talking about that section of that percentage is actually a lot of people.
Right.
Who don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's all part of the thing.
Hey man, that's the business we in is like everybody's not gonna like you. This is what we do. We do a job that's like everybody ain't gonna like it, but the people that like it, I'm rocking with you.
That's a hard thing.
If you're rocking with me, I appreciate it.
But see, that's what happened to me. Is like my story is like I was doing a show at Mixed Nuts, which is now the Comedy Union.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It used to be called Mixed Nuts back in the day. That's when I was first starting out.
You started in LA?
I'm from LA. I started in LA. It was a nightmare.
Why don't I think you was East Coast?
No, because I got family and I got that look.
Okay.
Because you knew a Puerto Rican dude that looked like this. You know what I mean? A light skinned dude that was mixed. So I'm at Mixed Nuts, and then the J. Anthony Brown is the host, and this was around Clinton, Monica Lewinsky stuff. The host brings him up and she don't tell him who's going up next. He's killing. I'm talking about smashing the crowd. He looks over at the comics. Who next? All the comics take one step back. I felt like, and it was just me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the Eric Griffin. He's like, then there's that black intro. I don't know who this motherfucker is. I don't know. I know he don't got no credits. You know what I mean? Look at this jeans.
Watch out there now.
Yeah, I'm getting roasted before I even go on. So I go on, and then I'm doing terrible.
Yeah.
A minute in, he's giving me the light.
Oh wow.
And I say the words, man, I got the light already. And then so I finish up. He proceeds to go on and do 20 minutes
on you saying
about how horrible I was.
Right.
He's killing. To this day, I remember him saying, "Shit, you got the light. People setting their girlfriend on fire to get you off stage." And dude, I'm sitting on a stool at the bar, and I'm telling myself as a man, don't leave. Don't walk out of here a coward. None of the comics want to talk to me. There's a bubble of negativity around me. They don't want that shit on them. You know what I mean? And I tell you that, like you said, you stopped for months.
Right.
I stopped for years. Okay. I had been tired of trying to go to open mics and try to figure this out.
Right.
And so that was the one that I was like, I'm out.
Right.
I can't. And so I stopped doing it for such a long time.
Yeah.
And then when I got back into it, finally one of my boys was there for me. Because I'm only child. I didn't have a lot of friends.
Right.
So I didn't have that guy that's like, yo, man, you could do it until way later. And then I remember doing a show. I was doing this show it was at Marley's, Dan Marley in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Remember Marley's? Mm-hmm. So this is the first.
Right there near where the basketball stadium is. Yeah. It's like an outdoor.
No, it was an indoor bar. But it was
they got the sprinklers and shit outside because it's so hot in Arizona.
And they got this long bar. Okay.
Right.
So they're having a show. And I don't know, it's an all-black show.
Right.
I don't know. Because they flying you out. There's a dude with a sign at the airport. And I was excited. I was like, oh, shit, I'm making it.
Right.
Eric Griffin at the airport. Get to the show, it's mad ghetto. Okay? And I'm in the back oh, no. The host is bombing. He brings me up. I'm trying my best. When I get off stage.
The host is bombing.
The host is bombing. When I got off stage, the DJ played. Okay. Host goes back on, and the joke becomes, Eric Griffin ain't ever coming back to this club. You know,
Wow.
that became the joke. But I got to tell you something. I was in the back, and I was laughing. I was in the back like, I just didn't have it tonight.
Right.
And it didn't matter to me.
Right.
And that's when I knew I can make it.
Let me tell you.
That's the moment I knew I can make it.
Can I please tell you this story?
Please, go ahead.
When you said you stayed in the room, it was like, okay, I got comic strip, New York City. It's summertime in New York. It's the weekend of the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Oh, God.
If you've never been to New York, the weekend of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, it's the biggest Puerto Rican festival from Friday to Sunday you will ever see. They parade down Central Park West, I guess. They party all, it's cars running lights and girls
Right.
wearing the least they can wear legally in the streets. The comic strip is packed that night. 8 o'clock show, packed, 10 o'clock show, 12 o'clock show. Everybody's like, yo, we going to see comedy. A room full of rowdy, drunk Puerto Ricans. I'm on a 10 o'clock show. I get on stage, table to my right, a bunch of Puerto Rican guys. Now stage is here, right? So table's like almost like behind you.
Yeah.
Table to the left, table full of Puerto Rican girls, gorgeous Puerto Rican girls. Dude on my right is hollering across the stage. Like, let's say he's sitting here. Like, see how this table is?
Yeah.
She's sitting at the end. Listen, he's here. Mami, they're speaking Spanish. And I'm standing. The dude, they talking.
Right.
The dude puts his foot up, comes on the stage, walks behind me, kneels down, gets the girl's number, comes back, says, I'm like, yo, at this time, now you see me do crowd work in the room. Just take over a room just doing crowd work. Riffin. I got nothing. It's early on. It's 2000.
You wish that would happen now.
Right now, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna do an hour on that guy. You got the number. She gave you the wrong number, motherfucker. You want to call me? Whatever. I go, hey man, don't do that again. And he's like, shut the fuck up, man. You just mad because you bombing. And the whole table, all his boys, like, oh, you bombing. The motherfucker takes the lemon wedge out his drink and throws the shit at me.
Oh my God.
The whole room is like, oh. Immediate lesson learned. Bombing, most of the time, is losing control of the room.
Yes.
It's not the joke's not working.
Yes.
It's losing control of the room.
Yeah.
I lost control of the room immediately. They started booing. I'm standing there. I'm like, I see the light come on. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to fight this guy. Man, I ain't bombing. You bombing. Like, I don't know what the fuck to say.
Your bottom lip start quivering.
Yeah, I'm like, you crazy, you Puerto Rican crazy dude. And he like, what happened? You corny, man. Lights on, flickering. I just stepped back from the mic. I know I'm and the host walks out.
Ding,
and
ding,
just
ding,
goes
ding,
like on my back, like
down goes Frazier.
I walk off stage. I'm sitting in the lobby of the of the comic strip. Sorry, and I'm like, my boys are there, and I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. And my cousin Sherrod goes, no, we're not getting the fuck out of here.
Oh, good. I wish I had a cousin.
You're gonna
Sherrod.
sit right here. You're gonna sit right here.
Right.
And the show lets out, and comic strip holds what, 225?
Yeah.
225 motherfuckers walk past me. Yo, this the dude right here. He's fucking suck. Yo, Poppy. Yo, my man, this the fucking guy right here. Girls walking past like, oh, Poppy, so sorry, Poppy.
Yeah.
Oh, they booed you, Poppy. Maybe next time. But 225 motherfuckers. And they all walk, and I'm just like, head down. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And Sherrod goes, I want you to remember that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because that's never going to happen again.
Boom.
And that shit was like Bane turned the fucking knob.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, that's never going to happen to me again. And it was just like writing every day. We on stage as much as possible, riffing, throwing stuff out. Somebody say something. What you say? Boom, boom, boom. Make that funny. Boom. Now, when I get on stage now, I tell people all the time, I swear I feel like I can see better, hear better when I'm on stage. Because anything happens, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, I feel you. I know exactly
that
what
will
you're saying.
never happen to me again.
You know, I like to do it when I'm doing a long set. I like to do comedy to the point where the crowd, this is weird, but the crowd is completely silent. Like they are like this.
Right.
Like, what are you about to say next?
Yeah.
And sometimes I take a moment where I'm like, oh, I love that. Because that is
I like to see it. I like to see their faces like that. I like to
ultimate
see
control is like they're waiting for you to say the next thing. Because you can't belly laugh the whole crowd.
That's
the whole
when they're
time.
locked in.
They locked in.
That's when they're locked in.
You know?
No, nobody. You know, a whole set of them laughing is like that's not a very good set.
They wouldn't even remember it.
Yeah, it's like you want the laugh, you want the ooh,
or like
you want the that's true. You want the I hear that.
Funny. Yeah,
you know what I'm
whatever.
You want I heard that.
Yeah,
that nigga ain't never lie. You want all that. You know what I'm saying? You want the whole spectrum. So,
I just recently did. Have you ever done? I just did the Atlanta Comedy Theater like a couple months back. See, I didn't know. You already laughing. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, let me just ask you, how many people that you didn't know were in your green room?
First, no, luckily they have 2 green rooms now.
Oh, you took the other one.
Yeah.
I took the one with the TV.
Oh my God, no.
I'm like, I'm not going to sit in the one with no TV.
I mean, like every comic in Atlanta did a guest set. To the point where
they'll tell you they do.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you know I'm the headliner, right? I'm doing a guest set.
I went in the room, closed the door. Just tell me when I'm coming on.
Yeah.
Host will come and be like, I'm bringing you right up. Sure. And then I just go sit down, like I'm waiting. And then like I draw a weird crowd. So I got some like white people, Asian people coming to that all black theater, and they sitting in the crowd like they can't believe what they're witnessing. So after a while, I had this how
you had to address that.
I had to come and like, listen. I would say I didn't know it was this black either. And that
you and me, just look at him. Hey man, you and me both.
Like, we in this together. The DJ, he don't want to just play a song. He come up like, yo man, which Biggie album you want me to play before you go up?
Yeah, I did it. It was
not
an enjoyable.
But one of my favorite compliments I got, because I still do my set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just maybe older black man, he comes up to me and goes, "Poignant set, brother. Poignant set." And I was like, I felt what he was talking about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's different types of reactions you get from people. Like after the show, you want people to be like, that was funny. You want people to be like, man, you really made me think about some stuff. Or you want people to be like, oh, we on the same page. This guy thinking like I think. And it's weird. That's why I love doing this.
I did a set at the factory the other night, and it was a new joke. I wanted Finesse Mitchell to hear it. So he was in the back of the room. I'm like, I'm going to try it.
Why? So he don't steal it? Just kidding, Finesse.
I said, yo, let me know what you think, right? Table,
Griffin.
front row, 4 white girls. Like, West Bel Air white girls, just like sitting in front row. Hey, ladies. And the joke was how black people limit themselves by saying certain things are white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the bigger picture is, our parents and our grandparents raised us. They're from a different era. So people say like, you going to the beach? Oh, you doing some white shit. But if you really think about it, it's because my grandmother wasn't allowed on the beach.
Right.
When she was my age, black people weren't allowed on the beach. So to her, it became the beach was white. It was deemed white. She taught my mother, we can't go there. So she thought it was white. So I said, but now if you don't take advantage of these opportunities, the fault lies with you now because we have these opportunities. So, and I was like, if you ain't gonna do it, if you black, do it black. Do white stuff, but do it black. And I got a DM the next night from the 4 white girls. They were like, that joke was so thought-provoking. I know you said you were doing it for your friend in the back so he could hear it, but I never thought of things like that. I never looked at it like that. And she's like, I really appreciate you taking a chance and saying that. And because I said, man, if this was Black Night, they would go crazy over this joke. And she said, I appreciate you for, trying it out tonight in front of us. And I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
So like you fucked her.
So next birthday, you'll be like, you ain't with Tony.
Oh, you the white girl from the show? No, but that's good, man. I like to hear the growth.
Yes, man.
Let me see. Where we at, man? How we doing, Aaron? Oh shit. Okay, look, we right there. Look at that.
What are we supposed to do?
I just do an hour. You know what I mean? Okay. It's good. I mean, because I feel like you and I could keep talking forever.
Can I just talk about this last thing?
Please.
I wasn't going to address it, and I'm not. This is not beef or anger or anything. You were on fire last night at the Comedy Store.
Right.
I think I was 2 after you. Right. So while I'm wrapping my setup, but before I went on, I hear them like, yeah, he's going to go on after Tony. He said he wants to go on after Tony. So I'm thinking to myself, somebody's in the room.
Uh-huh.
I go on, I do my set. Dice Clay was after me.
Oh, God.
So he goes on his Instagram. I can pull up the video if you want to see it. Or you pull it up later on. And he's like, I'm at the Comedy Store. I'm going on after Tony Rock. And he's taping the other comics like, did you guys know Tony Rock? And Eleanor's like, dude, everybody knows Tony Rock. What are you talking about? And he's like, he's Chris's brother? It's like 3 videos he posts. He posts them on Instagram. And he's like, does Chris know that he's using the name? So I said, wait, does he think it's a... You knew my brother all these years? You didn't know this is a family name? So I'm not using my brother's name.
He thinks it's like a stage name.
I'm like, this is my family name. So that was weird. But then he said, so Chris knows that he performs here? And Eleanor was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
and all the comics are like, Tony's dope. Like, he's here all the time. You never saw Tony? Like, Tony's here. And then he says, well, I'm just saying, if my brother was on stage doing stand-up here, I would drag him off the stage. That'd be the end of that. And I'm like, he thinks I should be dragged off the stage because what? Like, I don't... And then when you text me like to do the podcast, I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about it tomorrow. And then it was going so good just now. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to talk about it. Fuck
no,
it.
but I get
I'm like, I don't get it. Like, it was like, dude, where was that? Where'd that come from?
You talk about a different era. Like, he's been on one recently.
I did the documentary.
About Sebastian. He was talking about like, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know him that well.
Right.
He was like, he's a fan of I'm Dying Up Here. So like, he's been like, he said to me like, oh, I love you on the show and this and that. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, here's somebody that was like so super famous, and then now it's like, now he's famous for something else.
I did the documentary yesterday too for the Comedy Store.
Oh, right.
I taped it in the daytime, and then they came back to tape my set that last night. So in the documentary, I said, when I first heard about the Comedy Store, it was Richard Pryor goes in there, and all of the comics stand, and it's standing room only, and they just watch Richard Pryor. Then I heard Eddie Murphy goes up at the Comedy Store. He walks in with Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans and Arsenio, and they shut down the club, and everybody just stops what they're doing to see Eddie Murphy. And then I'm saying this verbatim, and I heard Dice Clay would come in, and he was the biggest thing in comedy. He would come to the Comedy Store, and the room would just come to a halt. And all of this I heard was about the Comedy Store. So when I was in New York, not even doing stand-up at the time, I just thought, when I get to California one day, I have to go to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And I'm giving this dude the biggest props I could. And I get there tonight, and he's like, who the fuck is this guy? Is Chris Noe's brother stealing the last name? Like, whoa.
Like your guy's real name is Johnson.
How weird was that? Like, I was like, just saying he's the biggest motherfucker. And he's like, he should be dragged off the stage. Like, wow, that was crazy. But it shows you it could flip like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's that thing they say about meeting your idols?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was, what is, your idols become your rivals, that one? Or
that's one too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens in this game. Yeah. You get into that's definitely what happens.
Yeah.
When you start like, oh, this dude's good, this dude's good. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoa, this dude's actually on the, we're in the same.
And then it kind of changes.
Yeah, the dynamic changes.
When you're down here, they like, hey, kid, hey. And then you up here, or you neck and neck, then it's.
Well, this is but comedy right now is like rap music, because rap is like.
It's always been rap music. But especially in the black comedy. It's always been rap music.
But check it out. Now, this is the first time we're seeing old rappers.
Right.
They're old now.
Yeah.
Like, kids don't even know. People think LL Cool J is an actor. You know what I mean?
They know Run DMC. They know Run from Run's house.
Yeah. They don't know that these people are. And I think that that's starting to happen with those big comics from the 80s too. It's like, where people are like, they're forgetting about that sort of thing.
You know why? Because the famous guys they know now are from.
They're not even really doing
catchphrases.
Yeah.
Get on up with the get down. It's like, and they see a motherfucker with a set. Like, what the fuck is this? We want to get on up with the get down.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, they kind of.
Well, I wouldn't take it to, you know what I say? I wouldn't take it too personally.
I didn't. I was like, you know what? It was weird, but
it's just weird. It's like it was like Eleanor had your back,
Yeah, you know what?
The rest
when
of
I was
crew,
leaving, she came over like, he didn't even know. Like, she's like, I was telling him like, dude, are you crazy? Like, and in the video, she's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, everybody knows Tony Rock.
It's just one of those things.
He's like, he's here all the time. He's here fucking every night. And I was like, wow, how did he to not know that?
Yeah, he's not here every night.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's what I said. My boy was like, it just shows how out of touch he is.
Yeah. Even though he was good in the Lady Gaga movie. She's being good as a drunk father, and like he's getting into it. He's got a new role
what's
now.
A Star is Born?
Yeah, Star is Born.
He was in it?
Yeah, he plays her father.
I gotta see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, he plays her father. But anyways, we're gonna squash that beef. That beef is squashed. Griffin. But I want to thank Tony for coming on. I'm gonna have you on again. I think there's more we could talk about.
Man, we
didn't even get to the Clippers. We didn't even go into the playoffs.
We didn't get to me moving to LA and all of this stuff.
I know you had so much more to talk about, but we can. Good part. We're gonna call this part 1 with Tony Rock. We're gonna have a part 2. I'm glad you came on. I really appreciate you doing this, and I wish you much success. What's up for the future for you right now? What's going on?
Right now, the number one thing is I'm trying to get this hour done so I can showcase it and get this hour special out.
You got to get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's because it's all about content now.
Right.
It's not even about it.
And I think it's a game changer. I think it wouldn't be a who's this guy if I had if I had I was special. Everybody, if you're a real comic, you're gonna be like, all right, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
Real comics.
Well,
find
we'll look forward to that. I'm sure it'll be someplace.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be someplace. And then anything else? You got like TV work? What's going on?
I'll pitch you some stuff. Yeah, I did the sitcom I was on. The CBS got canceled. I was the highest tested guy. They told me on of the cast. So now CBS is trying to keep me in the fold. So now we're like, hey, here's an idea. Let's try to.
That's good. We'll look for Tony on TV.
Yes,
That's gonna have maybe him and I be together too.
Let's do it.
We do like Tango and Cash, or like we could be detectives.
We could definitely be detectives.
We should do Black Riptide. You know how they making like old shows?
Riptide.
You don't remember Riptide? See, wow.
Riptide?
They had the pink helicopter.
It
was a detective show in the 80s.
Never heard
Remington Steele, Riptide.
I remember Remington Steele.
Aaron knows Riptide.
Remington Steele, I remember.
You know, you ain't shit, Aaron.
What, he's like a fake ass Magnum?
Yo, it was like, oh my God.
Remember Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember
Hunter, Heart to Heart.
It was murder.
That right?
It was when they got together. It was murder.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, we'll figure something out. We're going to figure something out. It'll be a cop show or something. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep subscribing. Please share. And I appreciate everything that you guys send me some. Keep sending theme songs and keep sending ideas. Thank you very much for watching Riffin with Griffin. And once again, please, thanks to Tony Rock for coming on the show.
Appreciate you,
I appreciate you, my brother. And that's it. Thank you.